For thousands of years, the story of Atlantis has existed in the hazy border between legend and history. A mighty, advanced civilization said to have disappeared beneath the sea in just a single day and night. To most, it's simply a myth, an allegorical tale created by Plato to warn humanity about pride and power. But over time, strange coincidences, new discoveries, and controversial theories have reignited the debate. Was Atlantis a real place? Could it still be hiding in plain sight? Let's begin with a real and incredibly intriguing location, the Richat structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara. This enormous, circular geological formation is located deep within the desert of Mauritania in northwestern Africa, stretching about 25 miles across and consisting of concentric rings of rock and sediment. The Richat structure is so massive that astronauts use it as a landmark from space. For decades, scientists considered it a purely natural formation created by erosion and geological uplift. But lately, a small number of independent researchers and explorers have raised a compelling question. Could this strange, ringed formation actually be the remnants of the Lost City of Atlantis? To understand this theory, we need to go back over 2,000 years to the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato. In 360 BCE, Plato introduced the story of Atlantis in two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. According to him, Atlantis was a powerful island civilization located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. The city was described as being made of concentric circles of land and water, surrounded by mountains, rich in minerals and natural resources, and ruled by a technologically advanced and militarily dominant society. But after falling into moral and political decline, Atlantis was destroyed by a cataclysmic event around 11,600 years ago, vanishing beneath the sea in a single night. Mainstream historians and scholars have long believed that Plato's tale was fictional, an allegory used to convey his philosophical ideas about the dangers of hubris and corruption. However, a growing number of researchers argue that his timeline aligns with a very real period in Earth's history, the end of the Younger Dryas. Around 11,600 years ago, the Earth experienced a sudden and dramatic shift in climate, likely triggered by a comet impact or massive glacial meltwater floods. This rapid change disrupted ecosystems across the globe and may have devastated early human settlements. Some theorists believe that this cataclysm could have inspired the stories of floods and lost civilizations found in cultures around the world, including the legend of Atlantis. Now here's where the Richat structure enters the picture. When you compare Plato's description of Atlantis to the Richat, the similarities are uncanny. Plato described a city with circular rings of land and water, 3 of water and 2 of land. The Richat structure, when viewed from above, mirrors this layout, with ring depressions that could have once held water and raised land formations in between. The scale also fits, once you adjust Plato's units of measurement to what might have been used in ancient times. Furthermore, the location, if we interpret beyond the Pillars of Hercules, not as far west into the Atlantic, but southward into the African interior, doesn't seem so far-fetched. To be clear, the Richat structure is still widely believed to be a natural formation. No peer-reviewed studies have confirmed it as a man-made site. There are no verified ruins, inscriptions, or artifacts proving the presence of an ancient city. But that hasn't stopped independent researchers, YouTubers, and curious minds from exploring the area. Some claim to have discovered ancient-looking stone tools, pottery fragments, and even evidence of water channels, possibly used for irrigation. While intriguing, these claims remain controversial and unverified, often dismissed by professional archaeologists as wishful thinking or pseudoscience. Yet the Richat theory is just one thread in a much bigger tapestry. Across the globe, other mysterious underwater and ancient sites continue to challenge our understanding of early civilization. Take the Yonaguni Monument in Japan, for instance. Located beneath the sea off the coast of Yonaguni Island, this massive stone formation resembles a stepped pyramid or terrace structure. Some believe it's a submerged temple built by an ancient culture, while others insist it's a natural rock formation. The debate remains unresolved. In India, the Gulf of Kampat has yielded sonar images of what appear to be submerged structures resembling streets and buildings. However, these findings have also been criticized for lack of concrete evidence. Skeptics argue that the images are too vague, and without definitive artifacts or inscriptions, the claims can't hold up. Still, such discoveries suggest that during times of lower sea levels, like those during the Ice Age, advanced coastal settlements could have existed and later been lost to rising seas. Another key location in this mystery is Göbekli Tepe, located in southeastern Turkey. Dating back to around 9600 BCE, this site predates Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids by thousands of years. It consists of massive, T-shaped stone pillars arranged in circular enclosures, with intricate carvings of animals and symbols. What's truly baffling is that Göbekli Tepe was constructed by what mainstream archaeology once considered primitive hunter-gatherers. The level of organization, architectural planning, and symbolic sophistication seen here forced historians to rethink the timeline of human development. If this level of society existed over 11,000 years ago, what else could have been possible? This has led some theorists to expand the Atlantis story beyond the idea of a single sunken city. What if Atlantis wasn't one place, but a network of advanced civilizations scattered across different regions? These societies could have been wiped out by the catastrophic events that marked the end of the Ice Age: massive floods, climate changes, and geological upheavals. That would explain why traces of advanced architecture, agriculture, and astronomy seem to appear suddenly in places around the world after this period. One of the most mysterious artifacts tied to this theory is the Piri Reis map. Created in 1513 by Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis, the map is based on even older charts. What's strange is that it shows the coastlines of South America and Africa with surprising accuracy. Some even claim it depicts an ice-free outline of Antarctica, something supposedly impossible given that Antarctica has been covered in ice for thousands of years. While most scholars argue that this is a misinterpretation and the map was simply extrapolated using known coastlines, the debate remains active among alternative history circles. So where does all this leave us? Atlantis, as a historical reality, remains unproven. No definitive ruins have been found. No writing has surfaced to confirm its existence. The archaeological community remains skeptical, and rightly so. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. But the legend endures because so many separate pieces, Plato's writings, ancient sites like Göbekli Tepe, mysterious underwater structures, global flood myths, continue to spark curiosity. Perhaps the value of Atlantis isn't in whether it existed, but in how the story drives us to look deeper. It's a symbol of lost knowledge, of forgotten histories, and of the incredible resilience of myth across time. In chasing the mystery of Atlantis, we are also chasing a better understanding of who we are as a species, where we came from, and what might have been lost to time. Thanks to modern technology like satellite imaging, LiDAR, and underwater archaeology, we are discovering ancient ruins in jungles, deserts, and beneath the oceans that were once invisible. These tools are changing how we understand the ancient world, and in the coming decades, we may find answers to some of the most puzzling questions about human origins. Perhaps we'll even stumble across a forgotten city that finally gives Atlantis its place in real history. For now, scientists and researchers continue to investigate. The rechat structure is still being studied, and new expeditions are always on the horizon. Explorers, both professional and amateur, keep searching the world's deserts, jungles, and seas for small signs of what came before us. Maybe Atlantis is still out there, hidden beneath sand, ice, or ocean, or maybe it's a story that points us toward a deeper truth about lost civilizations and cycles of rise and fall. In the end, Atlantis might be less about finding a city and more about the quest itself. It's about staying curious, asking questions, and daring to imagine that our past might be far more complex than we've ever been taught. Could an entire civilization have risen and vanished without leaving a trace? Could history be repeating itself without us realizing it? These aren't just questions about Atlantis. They're questions about us. One day, we may uncover the final piece of the puzzle. But until then, Atlantis will remain what it has always been: half myth, half memory, and endlessly fascinating. If this journey into the unknown sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries. Got your own theory about Atlantis or another ancient site you think we should explore? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, sometimes it's the legends we chase that lead us to the truth.